Week 1, the Miami Dolphins beat the New England Patriots 20-7. It was an awesome win. You love to see it. I love to see it. It was really cool to see. I said see too many times in that sentence. I'm rooting hard for Miami, though. I really am. I love the new head coach, Mike McDaniel. I love their quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa. I'm rooting for him. I really like him as a person. Now, I walked away from Sunday's game, however, still skeptical of their quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa. I want to see Tua do well. I want to love him. I want to be like all in and really believe in him as a quarterback. I'm not going to lie, and this is a little bit unfair to him. It's not about him. But on Thursday Night Football, we watched Justin Herbert go toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes. And week one, Justin Herbert beat the Raiders with his team, the Chargers. Watching Tua always makes me cringe just a little bit because there's a voice in the back of my head that just cannot get past the thought, like, man, Miami could have had Justin Herbert, a guy who's a better athlete, a guy who has a much better arm. I mean, I watch Herbert throw the football, and I'm like, Justin Herbert throws a football like he's a video game character. The way it comes out of his hand on a line, it's unbelievable. Now, that aside, again, that's not fair to Tua. It just is there, though. Always hanging whenever I watch him throw the football. I'm like, man, that's such a weak arm. I mean, it's like, I hate to say that, but it's true. Now, that aside, week 1 against New England, Tua was 23 for 33 passing with 270 yards, 1 touchdown pass, and here's the key, 0 turnovers. I love to see that. I said going into the year, no matter what happens, Tua cannot be a obstacle or a problem Miami has to overcome. He can be either, hopefully, a positive thing for his team, but Tua could even be a neutral factor for his football team. Like, just totally fine. He cannot be a negative factor for his football team. This game was a positive game, though. I thought he did very well. He was not just neutral, he was positive. My favorite play in the game was on a 4th and 7 with 24 seconds left before halftime. Ball's on the 42-yard line. He throws a slant to Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle makes a man miss and takes it for a 42-yard touchdown. It was awesome. 4th and 7, bam, touchdown right before halftime, and the fans of Miami were all waddling and doing their little side-to-side waddle dance. I love it. I think that's awesome. I'm very excited about this team in Miami. I like watching them play a lot. It's really fun. And Miami led 17-0 at halftime. However, they only scored 3 points in the second half. That does concern me a little bit. But their receiving core was awesome. Tyreek Hill, the new receiver, 8 catches for 94 yards on 12 targets. Jalen Waddle, 5 targets, 4 catches, 69 yards, and a touchdown. Oh, and by the way, Miami is more than just an exciting offense. They have a defense that's got a lot of playmakers on the perimeter, especially in their secondary. Their defense held New England to only 7 points, and I thought, in many ways, shut down New England's offense. Here's a concern moving forward, though, when it comes to Miami. I wasn't that impressed with their running game. And Tua was fine. Tua was very fine. He was not amazing. Didn't blow me out of the water. He had an interception that was dropped in the 4th quarter. And now, honestly, I believe Miami has a pretty manageable schedule. I look at their schedule and I go, yeah, Miami's going to win a lot of games this year. I feel good about that. But here's where I worry. This is what, like I said, there's a concern moving forward. What is going to happen when Miami plays a really capable offense that is going to score points? They've got a good defense. They're going to be good against a lot of quarterbacks, a lot of mediocre teams. Miami's going to do very well. What happens when they play Joe Burrow in Cincinnati? They've got 3 great receivers in Cincinnati. Try slowing them down. Minnesota has Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen. Week 4, Cincinnati, that game concerns me. Week 6, Minnesota, that game concerns me. Week 3 and 13, they play Buffalo. You're not going to stop Josh Allen in Buffalo. You're only going to slow him down. It's the kind of game that is going to require your quarterback to score a lot of points to keep up with a high-powered offense. Can Tua do that? I don't know. They're going to beat up on mediocre to bad football teams. Can Miami beat a really good football team? That's a question I I still don't know the answer to. It's going to be a while before we know that, I think. Can Tua score enough points to go head-to-head with Joe Burrow, Josh Allen? Week 14, Justin Herbert. What's going to happen there? I'm skeptical of that. I'm skeptical that when you got Justin Jefferson running around and making a bunch of plays, and Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow and Josh Allen, can Tua make enough plays and score enough points to keep up with a really high-powered offense on the other side of the field? Miami is not horrible. They also, by the way, had a good 10-play drive to close out the game and burn the final 4 minutes and 55 seconds of that game against New England. That's awesome. But Tua is not very mobile. It's very frustrating for me watching him play without the ability to extend plays. I watch guys like Daniel Jones, Ryan Tannehill, and I'm like, dude, they can run. He's got a limited arm. And I look around the NFL and I think, this guy is just a bottom-tier NFL starter. He's fine. He's not a bad quarterback. But as far as ability and talent, now, talent and ability can only take you so far. If Tua has great habits and is a good decision maker and is accurate, that he could succeed and be great. Drew Brees is not the most talented quarterback we've ever seen. He was very accurate. He was physically a little bit limited, never had a big arm. Like, you can succeed as a quarterback without an incredible physical skill set. But I gotta be honest, I wonder, watching Daniel Jones, I think, hey, DJ would be pretty good running this offense, throwing to Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Or the former Miami quarterback, Ryan Tannehill, you brought him in, he'd do great running Miami's offense. Or the other Hawaii quarterback, Marcus Mariota. Marcus Mariota would be outstanding throwing to Tyreek Hill and running around and running Mike McDaniel's offense. I really believe that. Frankly, I wish this wasn't true, but it is. There are a lot of quarterbacks, and a ton of them I would rather have than Tua. Bryce Young or Tua? Bryce Young next year or Tua? I'd rather have Bryce Young. I don't like saying that. I love Tua as a person. I lived in Hawaii. I love his family. I love everything about him. Week 1 was a cute win. Oh, great. You beat New England. Nice. But my arms are crossed. I'm sitting here like, okay, you're good. You're fun. You're exciting. But I'm not convinced that Tua can produce enough points to keep up with Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Minnesota, Cincinnati. Those are the games moving forward that I worry about the most. Time will tell. I am rooting for Tua. I'm rooting for Miami. I want Tua to be the franchise quarterback they've been waiting for since Dan Marino. Like, I so badly want Tua to be the man. But like I said, what's the potential of this offense? Can they beat a team like the Bills, like, a high-powered offense like Cincinnati or Minnesota? Justin Herbert. I don't know. What's the limit of this football team in this offense? We'll find out. Time will tell. I'm really interested about Tua. But that being said, I think Miami's going to win a lot of games this year and do very well against mediocre and bad teams. I just wonder, what's the ceiling for Tua? Is he ever going to be able to beat top-tier NFL teams and score enough points to do that? I really don't know. Time will tell, but I'm rooting for him.